Hello, hello, hello. I am David Lee, the creator of Flintlock and Fog, and this video is just to kind of give you an update of what our plan is as Flintlock and Fog for the year of 2026. We got a lot coming up this year. I have a lot to go over, but I'm going to try to make it as quick as possible because this is just for those people who are just curious as to what we've been doing over here with this Victorian era tabletop RPG. But before I go into 2026, let me give you a quick recap of 2025. 2025 in February, we released the beta test player's manual. So a limited edition. It's only going to be out for a little bit. It was just for people to get their hands on it if they wanted to try, to play test it, see how mechanics work, see what things they liked, what they didn't like. It was also a way for me to be able to have a material piece to send to players who were going to come and beta test it with me. And it was just a cool collector's item because that bad boy is not going to be around for much longer. So it's going to be discontinued because it legitimately says limited edition, and when I say limited, I meant it. Plus a lot of things in that are antiquated. A lot of the game itself is still the same. Some of the numbers have changed, but the character creation itself and how that functions as you level up, that whole thing changed drastically. But most things stayed the same. The only thing I did with this new edition that's coming out, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, we added a ton more. And not to make it uber complicated, we just add a few more dynamics that will be available if you want to play an advanced version, or just keep it the simple way, the Flintlock and Fog way. But mostly everything that changed in the manual itself was numbers. We adjusted those numbers to what worked best for what we wanted in Flintlock and Fog. So as for that was 2025. Spent the entire year beta testing that. I'm going to do a whole video about the beta test. How that functioned, about the season ending, and what we're going to go from there. So I'm not going to do a lot of talk about the beta test itself. Just going to give you a recap. But we are moving into starting the Kickstart for the official player's manual, which is something I'm looking forward to. So the whole thing is done. All the math is worked out. Everything's good to go. We are ready to launch the Kickstarter for the player's manual. But I didn't like that idea alone. What I was worried about, and what I am worried about, is releasing a player's manual for a game that no one has any materials to play. Other than go to Flintlock and Fog, you can download a quest. You can go watch the YouTube channel. I got tons of episodes. We're a little one-shot, so you can play with your friends. But there really isn't a ton of material with just the player's manual. So I thought my genius idea was, why not release a one-shot campaign with the player's manual combined, maybe two pieces of material, but coming out together at the same time. So when you buy the manual, you also buy a little campaign to go with it. And then that way you can sit down with the whole shoot and shebang. Comes with the maps in it, all that stuff, and play with your friends. So that's the plan. That's the big thing for 2026. But it doesn't stop there, because I'm hoping that to be on the first half. After that, pretty often we're going to release a one-shot campaign, a part of that series. So it'll look like here's a one-shot campaign, and then a few months later, here's another one-shot campaign that may or may not tie to that first one, and then here's another one, and so on and so forth for the foreseeable future. Because to be honest, this is the part I've been waiting for. Now, I love creating a game, all the cool details, the way characters are made, the different types of abilities, and different types of items. But the part I love, and really the reason why I made Flintlock and Fog, is because I love to write stories. And so this part is where I've been aiming to get to, is I want to write some awesome stories. And just continue that on and on and on as the game progresses and grows. So those are our main things. Those are the big main things that we're looking forward in 2026. Now, one of the reasons why I haven't posted a lot about 2026, and I didn't give away a ton when it came to the beta testing thing, I kind of kept a lot of cards close to my chest, it's because I'd never, ever want to overpromise and underdeliver. That's not my style. If anything, definitely underpromise, overdeliver. So even in this video, I'm going to keep things close to my chest. I have a ton in the background for this game going on. So I'm just going to give you a little snippets here and there, just kind of little teasers to kind of get you an idea of what we have planned for coming out with this first one. And first and foremost, minis. I wanted mini figurines to go with the game. Now, you can buy the one shot without the minis, but I wanted the option to be able to go, no, I kind of want some little pieces to go with this, because the one shot is going to come with maps in it. And right now, you can go to flintlockandfog.com, and under store, you hit maps. They're all free maps there you can download to print on your own, and then use those and create your own campaigns around them. But what I don't have on the store at this particular moment are little mini figurines that are Victorian style. So, different characters, different clothing, the deer stalkers or the top hats, things that you can go on there and select and buy. Now you can go to many different companies like, Eldritch Foundry and Hero Forge. Kind of smashed those together just now. Um, and create your own. And they do have some Victorian style uh, attire that you can do. But I wanted to create something that's a little bit more set with Flintlock and Fog. So each character, we have 6 character studies, which are basically like classes. Spiritualism, military, investigator, crime, martial arts, and what's the other, science. And I wanted each of the figurines to represent one of those particular kind of studies. And the best way to do that was hats, because who doesn't love an awesome hat? So we have a whole setup to where the character studies will represent these particular minifigurines. And soon you'll be able to go to flintlockandfog.com and select these minis, be able to either download the STL, which is just a file for you to print on your 3D printer, or you can purchase the actual 3D mini from Flintlock and Fog itself. And then you can take it, paint it, or whatever, or you can use it to play Flintlock and Fog. I want to have that set up and ready for when the Kickstarter ends and we start mailing out materials. So that's one of the things on there. I'm going to give you a little heads up. I don't make dice, but boy, oh boy, do I know a ton of people who make amazing dice. So what I would like to see is some dice rollouts with not just the player's manual, but with each particular one shot. So what I've been working on in the background is setting up where dice makers can make a particular official sets of dice, probably limited edition, to come out with each one shot and including the player's manual. So that'll be something that I'll be able to showcase, not just with the one shot to get people excited about it, but also get to showcase other creators, other people who make things for tabletop RPGs. One thing you're going to kind of find out, if you haven't figured out already from beta testing, this whole project is nothing without other creative people doing things. And so what I mean by that is high tide raises all ships. And if it was just me out here creating something no one's ever made up, no one's seen before, they're like, a D20, what is that? That's some kind of bingo number? Then this would be useless. But because there's already people out in this community making amazing things, I just want to partner with them and help lift them up as they help, provide materials for Flintlock and Fog. So that's basically what I've been doing, and what I plan on doing for the foreseeable future, which leads me to my next thing, art. This is a big thing I wanted to hone in on, because at Flintlock and Fog, a few people behind this, we had a big discussion, because the big controversy right now is AI art. And now, if you notice on my social medias, there is a lot of AI through there, but social media, and to be honest, I don't really put a lot of time into social media, and it's just a good way to engage in people. But what you might also notice outside of our social media is things behind me. These things are not AI. These are actual art, because I'm actually an artist. That's how I started. Before I made Flintlock and Fog, before any of the other projects I've done, I would do art, like these little guys behind me. Not the comic book, obviously. The Bad Wolf, the painting right behind me with the reef on it. This is all handmade work. This is art. So I take art very seriously. And when it came to Flintlock and Fog, the last thing I was going to do is shortcut on the thing that I'm probably most passionate about. But the other thing I wanted to lean into is a style that's not really my own. Some of it is the player's manual will have a lot of art that is my style, but the one shots, I'm not a comic book artist. Well, I mean, I can be, but it's not the best. So what I wanted to do is reach out to artists who fit the style of Flintlock and Fog, the theme, the Gothic, the turn of the century Victorian era, and just see what their thoughts were if they would like to partner with this project. So as the one shots come out, you're going to see them very similar to comic book style be hosted by a particular artist and have that run with them. That's my highlight. It's the thing I want the most. God forbid something happens and you buy a Flintlock and Fog one shot and you flipping through and the characters have 6 fingers instead of 5. I definitely don't want that to ever happen. It would be the easier route, but again, those are corners you don't want to cut, because the plan is not for you to just purchase this game and, oh, cool, and put it up on your shelf and never look at it again. The plan is to make something that has a phenomenal story, phenomenal visuals as far as the art goes, and something that's connected to a game that can be played universally. And so what I'm basically saying is, when you buy, a one shot or a campaign for Flintlock and Fog, it's something you're going to want to hold on to, because you can revisit it time and time again. And the last thing I want is you play a one shot and say, that was fantastic story, loved everything about it, but the imagery was a little weird. And then 10 years later down the line, be like, oh yeah, that Flintlock campaign, let's bust that out again. Be like, oh my God, this is back when they were using AI art. Anyway, long rant to say, art is a passion of mine and it's very important to me. So you can trust, despite what our social media is, because I don't take social media seriously, and neither should you. Um, I don't want to use that for the art. I want us to be I want the one shots to feel, and this is me giving away a little too many of my cards. But I want the one shots to feel very, very comic book esque. And so if you were one of the few people watching this video, you're gonna and that seems like something like, what does he mean by that? Just you'll see. That's the kind of style I want to move in when it comes to these one shots. The other thing that I'm really looking forward to is I'm looking forward to not just publishing one shot, the physical ones, but setting up scenarios. Now, this is really what a pure one shot would be. Just a real quick situational issue, a bar fight, or mugging in an alley. That's really what a one shot would be. These are more like mini campaigns the size of a comic book. That's what I'm looking to publish, but I would like to put out single issue scenarios on the website for free for you to download. So anybody can just take that, snatch it right up. Here's the map. Here's a certain situation. And then here's also some pre-made characters. All you're going to need is some dice and imagination, the player's manual, and you'll be able to rock and roll with your own setting. So that's some things I want to be able to put out there. Again, that's just going to be available on Flintlock and Fog for free to go with that. Now, I think I covered the one shot and I covered the series that's going to be coming out. That's something you're going to really want to look out for, because that Kickstarter, I'm going to plan that out meticulously to make sure all my ducks are in a row. Because what I don't want to happen is a Kickstarter, get everything done, and then after the Kickstarter ends and it's successful, which I'm most likely will be, fingers crossed, knock on wood. I don't want you to wait 4 months for you to get anything in the mail. That's not how I do. That's not how I roll. I want basically I want to build trust with the community, and that's going to require me doing a lot of the back end work first. So whereas, and I hoped earlier this in 2025 to launch the Kickstarter, hopefully in February, looks like that's going to be pushed back. And the only reason why I'm pushing that back, because it breaks my heart to do so, is because I want this to number one, I want the quality to be, top notch, chef's kiss. But I also don't want you to have to wait. And so I'm going to do the waiting on my end to make sure all these things are in a row. And so when the Kickstarter launches, I can push, send to a bunch of different, things moving at the same time to start production. As soon as that thing, clears and, hey, it was successful, this thing is roll out, we can start moving quickly. And then, that time limit will shrink, because I need it to, because there will be a Kickstarter probably fairly shortly after that, of the next one shot. And then not long after that, another Kickstarter for the next one shot, until this thing can start to build momentum. That's initially the plan. Again, I'm probably laying out too much of my poker hand, but transparency is a big part of this. What you do here, or what we do here, is about being transparent. So you kind of not only know where my head's at, where we're going with this, but also so you feel like you're a part of this. What I really wanted to do, and I talk about this a lot, is to build community around something like this, because really what I want is not just to make a game for you and your friends to play, but make a game that helps you to create your own things. So one of the things, and help you to flourish in your own craft. And this leads me to my next thing, which is going to be a bit of a hat trick while doing all the Kickstarter stuff. When I was beta testing, we ran a bunch of lives. Well, we ran 2 major live streams with multiple creators that are on the internet. They have their own pages. I'll go over that in the beta test season ending video. But what was great about that is during it, these are all DMs. They all have their own credit. They all run their own games. They got to experience Flintlock Fog. It was a way for me to share my game with them, to see if they even liked it. And then it also inspired them, because most of these people are forever DMs. They don't always get to be players. And so what I also wanted to do is take people who are normally DMs or GMs and bring them in and let them be a player for once, while I ran the game. And I thought that was great, because it helps build community. Those people share them with their communities and their groups. And that's kind of what I want to continue to build. So I'm going to continue the live stream, even though beta season is technically over. And I'll probably repeat this in that video as well. I want to continue the live streams, and if I can, do once a month, Whereas I bring in not just the same people, but new creators, hopefully, most likely DMs or GMs from other games throughout their own channels, their own social media presence. Bring them in, have them sit down and play that so they can get a feel for Flintlock and Fog. To selfishly, hopefully get them to want to play that with their players since they're always the forever DM. So it gives them a chance to be a player for once, and it gives me a chance to maybe plant the seed of them being interested in playing Flintlock and Fog with their friends. Because to be honest, this game can't go anywhere if it's just me playing it with you. And so that's the initial concept of the live stream. Not only that, is on Flintlock and Fog right now, you can go and sign up to become a member. It's free right now, but it won't be free forever. There is limited space. Basically, it's an author's page. In Flintlock and Fog, GMs or DMs, we call them authors. It's a way for us to put our little flavor to it. But basically what it's for people who DM or GM. It's for them to get connected into a community at Flintlock and Fog to learn the game, learn the ins and outs, learn how to play it with their players, and then become part of creating more things that come along. So whereas in beta season, the game mechanics, the way that math works, all that's done. I want to be able to set something up for people who are only DMs to give them a chance to come on the live stream, be a player for once, but also get to experience the game so they can take it and play it with their friends and their players that sit at their table. So it's a little bit of me giving it to the people who get the less out of playing D&D and Pathfinder, the people who have to run it and do all the research. I'm trying to get on the back end of them so I can kind of prepare them and give them as much material as possible. So it's less work on them. And then hopefully that helps spread the community for Flintlock and Fog. So that's the main things that I have coming up for 2026. There's some other things. Merch, of course, I mentioned that in a quick video. Merch is a given. Merch is not hard. And that's just fun. That's just a fun. I'm going to be honest. That's just fun. I like to wear t-shirts. I like to wear fun t-shirts of things that I like. So I may just make merch just so I can have a t-shirt that says Flintlock and Fog with a cool design or whatever. Again, I'm an artist. So when it's like, hey, I need you to come up with a cool design for a t-shirt, my ears perk up and my brain starts to churn. So that's just a guilty pleasure of mine, making merch. And so that's going to be a part of it. And there's a few other things that are in the background that I'm not going to talk about. Good things, but they're further down the line. And there's a few things that are going to be happening throughout this year too, but I want to keep those as a surprise. Again, when you're playing poker, you never show your whole hand. So I like to keep those tight to the chest. That way I have something in case everybody's like, is that it? And I go, no, wait, there's more. So I got other things like that coming out, but I mainly made this video for you because if you've been paying attention to Flintlock and Fog, or you've played it before, or you're signed up for the community, this is just a kind of a way to fill you in. Now, if other people who've never seen Flintlock and Fog watch this YouTube video, awesome, I love it. But mainly this is for people who are familiar with it. And if you are new and you're like, what in the heck is this guy talking about? Go to flintlockandfog.com, take a look. It's a Victorian era tabletop RPG. Got a fun stuff coming out this year, like I just talked about for the past 15 minutes. But that's it. A lot of live streams. Oh, there's going to be a lot more live streams. That's not just gameplay coming up in the future. I'm going to have to be more active on social media. And for those who know me in real life, know that not a social media guy, even though I've got a face of an angel and the voice of a ogre. I'm not a social media guy. I don't spend that much time on it, and I don't spend that much time posting on it. I'm going to get better this year, I promise. And a lot of things that we do behind the scenes, I'm going to share that with you, with everybody that's on our social medias, because that's part of the fun. Again, this always goes back to community. Flintlock and Fog wasn't just a passion project for me. It's a way for me to share my toys. Basically, I want you to come over to my house. I'm going to share my action figures with you, and we're going to play and create something awesome. That's how I was as a kid, and apparently that's how I am as an adult. So that's the plan with Flintlock and Fog for 2026, guys. This year is going to be awesome. I can tell you that because I've seen all the stuff on the back end and what I got planned, and I'm going to make more videos going in. Like I said, I have one that's going to talk about the beta season, how that went, things that we changed, and why it's ended, and where we go from here. Again, we're going to be a lot more play testing. It's not technically beta testing, but we're going to test some things, and a way for you to still be a part of the background and behind the scenes. Because what I want to do is still leave that open for people who are really, really interested. becoming a part of something as the ground level builds. So I want to leave that door open for people who are serious about Flintlock and they're like, hey, this sounds like a great idea. I want in. So I'll talk about that. I have more videos coming out. We're going to go over some of the art stuff that's coming out. I'm going to be sharing all that with you. I am doing some of the art for the player's manual. Might be doing all of the art for the player's manual. And I thought, what would be fun is to do that art live on Instagram and on the live streams. So there's going to be nights where it's just me hanging out for a few hours sketching and inking up some art that I plan on putting in the official player's manual. So unless somebody comes in who's a better artist than me, which there are many, and it's like, no, you set aside, let me take care of this, then maybe I'll just share theirs. But we do have a bunch of artists coming in, a bunch of other creatives, a bunch of other YouTube channels that are gonna come behind Flintlock and Fog. And so I'd love for you to be a part of it. So definitely go to flintlockandfog.com, sign up for the newsletter, because I'll be sending emails out, one likely with this video in it, and then just kind of keeping updates as that goes along. And then if you really are, you're a DM and you're like, hey, I would love to run this with my players, but I don't know what to do. Go and sign up as the author and on the author's page as a member. Again, it's free right now. There's not a lot on that right now. And it's just going to slowly build as the game gets approaching to the Kickstarter, because what I'd like to have is for this whole thing to be prepared. So when the game hits Kickstarter, you already have people that you trust, people out there that are familiar with the game, kind of like how we did with the beta testing over the past year. But anyway, that's all this video is. Just a quick update. This is like a board meeting you get to sit in on. It's just me and my dogs. We're doing a board meeting. I've already actually had the other meeting with all the other people behind the scenes, and they're excited about this year too. So everybody's really stoked, and we just want you to be a part of it. So whatever you're doing, go and like and subscribe if you're not sure and you're like, wow, I don't know, the thing, the drill. Like and subscribe, and go and pay attention to Flintlock and Fog. If you're not sold yet, I guarantee you will be. Come the end of this year, you're gonna be like, no, he was right. No, he was right. And I get to go, told you so. So that's it. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. And like I said, be looking out for more videos, more content coming out. It's just going to be me spilling my heart and sharing the beans. Reverse that. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful time, and I will see you back here next time. Bye.